Doyce is top 25.
All right. So college football got some movement this week.
We should have quite a bit of movement this
I
week.
this might be the first Doyce's top 25 rankings where not one single team stays in the spot that they were in last week.
I wouldn't be surprised.
There are six teams that have fallen out of the top 25. Which means we've got six
Okay.
new teams. This is the week where I'm allowing 3 lost teams in. So the teams out
We're getting down there.
just to get them out of the way. Oregon State, Syracuse, Oklahoma State, Wake Forest, Maryland, and Kansas State are all out. Those teams were, anywhere from 16 to 25 in last week's ranking. At 25, I've got Illinois, who lost to Michigan State. They fall from 14. Now here's the run of teams that are going in after being unranked.
All right.
So I've got 24 is Washington. They beat Oregon State, who I had ranked last week. Baylor comes in at 23. Baylor, I don't remember who Baylor played this week now.
Shit, it was a local one. Wasn't it?
Oklahoma. They beat
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Which,
OU.
it's Oklahoma, but Oklahoma's been a little better lately. Just as an aside,
I
just
guess you could say that.
one last thing about this is like general sports thing. Saturday might have been the greatest sports day of my life. Texas A&M lost, Oklahoma lost, Texas won, Alabama lost, Clemson lost, and then the Astros won the World Series. So
Yeah, no, that's insane. That's
it's like sports
a
nirvana.
lot of good stuff for you.
Yeah,
That's great.
everything came up aces for me on Saturday. Not that I necessarily hate Clemson. I just like seeing new blood, and so
Oh,
Clemson losing is
definitely.
good.
Definitely. I'm with you.
So 23, I've got Texas, who beat Kansas State. 21, I've got Kentucky coming back into the rankings. They really were only out last week because they had 3 losses, so I put them back in this week after they beat Missouri.
Okay.
NC State comes back into the rankings at number 20. I had dropped them out a couple of weeks ago after they lost Evan Leary, but they did beat Wake Forest this week, who I had ranked. So they go in at 20.
All right.
Notre Dame back in the rankings for the first time since week
Ayo.
1 or
That was
week
a big
2,
win.
maybe.
That was a big win.
It was a big win. They
Yeah.
absolutely destroyed Clemson.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. They didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah, Clemson didn't score until it was like the game was already over.
Yeah, which nobody expected, to be honest.
So I
However,
thought I thought they might give them a game because they did
same.
destroy Syracuse the week before, the
True.
same Syracuse that Clemson struggled with, but I didn't expect. I thought they might be able to win,
Yeah, I was not expecting that
but
at all. That was
there's a
insane.
there's quite a difference from thinking they could win to, oh God, they destroyed them.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
So UCF goes from 24 to 18. They are 7-2. They beat. I can't remember who they played.
I'm on it. It was Memphis.
Memphis, yeah. Memphis is an okay team. Liberty goes from 23 to 17. They beat up on Arkansas pretty good. And
Yep.
you know how I feel about Arkansas. I've liked that team.
KJ Jefferson, man.
He didn't have a very good game.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still hurt or
It
what.
seems it
I know he
seems
missed
kind
a
of like
couple of
it.
games. So he may be dealing with some stuff still. I don't know. Tulane goes from 20 to 16. They are the highest ranked of the group of 5 teams that I have. Penn State goes from 17 to 15. They whooped up on, was it Minnesota?
Indiana.
Indiana. No, it was
Beat the shit out of them.
couple of weeks ago they beat up on Minnesota. Alabama's at
Yes, they
14.
did.
I've got Alabama dropping all the way to 14.
Hey, I dig it, dude.
2
That's what happens
losses.
when all their strengths are their weaknesses right now. All
Mhm.
their typical strengths of the
They
past are their
don't have any
weaknesses
good
right now.
receivers.
Their line sucks.
The line's not good.
Yeah,
If
like,
it wasn't for
and their
for
defense isn't good.
if it wasn't for Bryce Young, Alabama would have 4 losses right now, I think, at
I'm with you,
least.
dude. It seems like it, dude, and it's weird. It's kind of weird, but I mean, hey, everybody loves it.
I don't hate it. I don't
Yeah,
hate it.
no. If you're not, if
Um,
you're the only people that don't are obviously
I love
Alabama
Bryce
fans.
Young though.
I
I
do
do
like Bryce
love,
Young.
and his commercials, the Fansville
Oh
commercials.
yeah,
Oh man, it's great. I love him.
those are great. I'm
The
with you there.
the, the one where the guy comes home and
I think we've talked
Bryce,
about that
we
on this
have, I don't
podcast.
know if we've talked about it on the podcast or
I
not,
think
but
we
I know
did.
we've talked about it. But I love that commercial.
Yeah, they're all great.
Anyway, back to the rankings. At 13, dropping from number 5, I've got Clemson. You can't get destroyed like that and still be a top 10 team.
I'm with you.
At least not right after. I gotta have a better taste in my mouth if I'm gonna rank you at the top
Oh,
10.
definitely, dude. They got destroyed.
At 12, the highest ranked ACC team is North Carolina,
Okay,
which if anybody hasn't watched North Carolina, Drake May, the quarterback, he's fun to watch. They've got a couple of
he is
really
fun to
good
watch.
receivers. Drake May might end up being on a Heisman ballot if he keeps
The
things
main
going.
one I remember is Appalachian State.
Well, of course. I mean,
That
60,
one was fun.
63, 61. Speaking
Yeah.
of high scoring games, did you see the score of SMU Houston?
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about something else. Did you see that one game that was like 96-0 at halftime and they called it?
No. Was that like a Division II thing or something?
It was like some weird school that
Hmm.
shouldn't even have had a football team. But anyway,
Well,
no, I did not
S
see the
SMU
SMU game.
SMU beat Houston 77-63.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let that sink in for a second.
Basketball?
No, there was actually a picture going around on Twitter, and it was a side by side of SMU Houston basketball and SMU Houston football, and the football score was higher.
I'm not surprised. Which brings me to my next point. The shot clock in college basketball is way too long.
Yes, it is.
Good
They've
Lord.
got to lower that.
You
Get it
don't
doesn't.
need 35 seconds.
Yeah, you don't have to go all the way to the NBA shot clock,
Why
but
not?
give me 30 seconds. Drop it. Just drop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Anyway, sorry.
I wanted to
Random rant.
just real quick. I want I want to read the drives, not the full, just the result, but SMU touchdown, Houston touchdown, SMU touchdown, Houston touchdown, SMU touchdown, Houston touchdown, SMU touchdown, Houston interception, SMU touchdown, Houston interception, SMU touchdown, Houston touchdown, SMU touchdown, Houston touchdown, SMU touchdown, Houston missed field goal, halftime.
Oh my God. Oh, you got me, dude. I was not expecting that. Oh my
That's the
gosh.
halftime. It was 55. It was 55-31 or 56-31 at halftime.
Jeez. Oh, then they had a little bit of a comeback.
And then starts the second half, Houston touchdown, SMU touchdown, Houston turnover on downs, SMU punt.
Oh, we did have a punt.
Houston touchdown, SMU touchdown, Houston touchdown, SMU touchdown, Houston interception, end of game.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't see anything of that until after the game was over.
I
I
wish I
haven't
would have
even.
been watching that game. That
I
sounds like
know
so much
it.
fun.
I know. I did see the longest drive of the entire game was like 4 minutes.
Just nonstop scoring, dude.
Yeah. Oh man, that would have been one to watch. But
That shit don't happen in the SEC, dog.
well, you say that, but there was an LSU Texas A&M game that ended up like 60 something to 60 something. after like 7 overtimes. But
Yeah, but A&M came from a different
anyway,
division.
I think I left off at number 12 with North Carolina before we got off on that
Yes.
tangent.
Yes.
So number 11 is UCLA. I
Okay.
had them at 12 last week. Ole Miss is at 10. USC is at 9. I kind of feel like USC might need to drop below Ole Miss and UCLA, but I didn't, just because their offense is really good. But
Well,
they've been
well,
playing some
they
close
play.
games.
USC and UCLA play in a couple weeks, so
Yeah, that'll get
we'll
worked out.
definitely find out. And then they also play Notre Dame to end it. So
Yeah. Yeah, USC's got a difficult schedule coming up.
agreed.
I've got Utah at 8. They are the second
Okay.
highest ranked two-loss team. I've got LSU at 7. I had them at 15. I've jumped them up to 7.
I think that's high enough. I mean, the only reason you can't take them any higher is because look at the teams in front of them.
Well, and that and
That's
they've
the
got
hard part.
that and they've got 2 losses. But
Right.
LSU still controls their own destiny to get into the playoff.
Yeah.
If they win out and somehow beat Georgia in the SEC title game, they are in the playoff.
True. That's true.
I think almost everybody from 11 on, from 11, like the top 11 teams, I think are still control their own destiny to get into the playoffs almost.
Just about, yeah.
With the exception of Utah. Utah, they're not making the playoff, even though I've got them at 8. They won't make the playoff. At 6, I've got Oregon, top ranked Pac-12 team. Notice I haven't said Tennessee yet. Tennessee's at 5. So I had them at 3. I only dropped them to 5. Now they did get handled by Georgia.
Yeah, they kind of made Hendon Hooker not look like much of a Heisman candidate.
Hendon Hooker was on his ass like the whole game. Like they could not block Georgia. Not that anybody can block Georgia, really, but
no, I got a buddy that's a Tennessee fan, and he was over here watching the game too. And of course, he was talking some shit, but that didn't last very long because I was like, dude, but he kept getting so upset about the offense. I was like, man, you're playing against the best defense in the nation.
Yep.
And they proved it Saturday. Finally, like it took a while, but they proved it on Saturday.
Yeah, that defense is nasty. Very nasty.
It's not quite last year, but it ain't far.
No. It's probably just as talented as last year, but it's just younger.
True. Yeah. Wait till next year.
Last year's defense was kind of the culmination of like 3 years of building.
True.
So I've got them at 5. TCU I've got at 4. Ohio State I dropped from 1 to number 3. They did not look good against Northwestern at all.
No, that was scary.
Had an awful game.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I was gonna actually talk a little bit of shit, but however, I did remember it was pouring down rain and super windy for a while.
It was very, very windy.
Both teams were having to deal with that, and you should be able to take care of another team.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they should have been able to. I mean, Northwestern is like 1-9 or 1-8.
Yeah, no, when they were about to maybe lose, it was like, what?
Yeah, I don't care where that game is played. Like I saw somebody say, I don't care if that game's played at the crest of a volcano. You should be able to beat them by at least 20, just like easily.
Yeah, true.
Michigan, I've got number 2. I had them at number 4. Michigan just keeps doing what Michigan does, which is kind of suck the soul out of teams and just run them to death.
Yep, Blake Corum, dude.
And then your boys, number 1. I think there's a clear gap between Georgia and the rest of the country right now.
They proved it on Saturday, like I said. Finally, it took a minute for people to actually believe us. Yeah, they struggled with a couple teams that they shouldn't have. That's partly playing down to their competition. But dude, Stetson Bennett is definitely a sneaky Heisman candidate for me.